Monday. Joe Lunardi has Carolina, Duke, Clemson, and Virginia in the NCAA tournament right now. Wake Forest and Pitt on the bubble. Virginia Tech, a team under consideration. And here we go with the Hokies controlling the opening tip. They come in at 14 and 11. Virginia at 20 and 6. Lynn Kidd has it up top. Handing off to MJ Collins. He can really heat up in a hurry. Shot clock down to 10. The feed for Kidd on the baseline. Working on Minor. Jumping into the paint. Gets the shot up for 2.
And that's the area where Virginia Tech can be successful. Lynn Kidd won the best in the ACC as far as field goal percentage. And Virginia can play him one-on-one with Jordan Minor in the lineup and not have to double team.
Virginia coming off a hard-fought victory, 49-47 over Wake Forest on Saturday in Charlottesville, despite making just 1 out of 11 foul shots. You talk about hard-fought. Brody up top will hit the back of the iron.
Brody got a good look from 3, and that's been a struggle for Virginia at times on the road, how they shoot the basketball.
Hokies with Padula getting a look, good look, along with Couture and Collins making up that backcourt. But Padula's been a very cold shooter in recent days. As we look at the Virginia starting 5, Beekman, Rhodey, McKneely, Dunn, and Minor. Both Dunn and Beekman, 2 of the very best defenders in the conference.
And this guy with the basketball, one of the best shooters in the conference, Isaac McKneely, who has been dynamite from beyond the three-point line. We've got 2 of those guys in this game, actually.
Beekman, nice give. The lean in won't go for Minor. So it's the Hokies shutting him down defensively right out of the gate. They have already met 1 time this season. Virginia Tech losing in Charlottesville 65-57. And the Hokies turning it over 15 times in that one. Mike Young's team hoping to do better work. Hanging on to the basketball tonight. 3-7 in his career here against Virginia. And all of the wins, as you point out, at home.
Yeah, Mike Young and the staff going back to the suits. They started that actually after the Coaches versus Cancer. They wore the suits and stuck with them. Tony Bennett and staff sticking with the 3/4 zips.
Minor picked up the foul. This time Beekman will pick up the foul on a reach from behind. Reese Beekman. Nobody steals the basketball better than him, the reigning ACC Defensive Player of the Year. And right now, I think he'd get both of our votes to do it again.
I believe he's a smidgen ahead of Ryan Dunn. It's a battle for me right now, Obi, with those 2 guys. Yeah. But both of them elite level defenders.
Padula kicks it out. Couture with a long shot. Can't hit it. Yeah, Ryan Dunn, the ACC blocks leader, and he's coming off 7 rejections on Saturday.
Yeah, 7 rejections, and also doing the job defending the basketball, where Reese Beekman is probably the best on-ball defender in the league and one of the best in the country.
Buchanan can't hit the follow-away. The 6'11 freshman, no good there.
Early substitution for Tony Bennett, getting Buchanan on the floor for Jordan Minor, who Minor had 16 points against the Hokies in that first matchup. He and Reese Beekman led the way, so interesting to see Minor on the bench early.
I wonder if that's an injury or if he just feels better about this. Collins trying to swing the pass inside, batted out of play by Virginia. And Virginia, as always, a tremendous defensive team, allowing only 58 points per game. That's number 3 nationally. They rarely turn it over. In fact, they're number 1 in the nation, just 8.2 turnovers per game. And they don't foul. Padula gets shut down there. Couture drives it, flips it up, and that's around and out at the horn of the shot clock. But a second chance. This is a shot he likes. Maybe even more than a layup. Couldn't get either one of those to go.
A couple of great opportunities for Hunter Couture on that possession. And you look at the numbers for Virginia and what they've been able to do on the road over their last 4 games. Shooting the basketball for 47% from beyond the 3-point arc. And you see Virginia now getting on the board. But it's been a difference in styles. I mean, with contrast in styles, when you think about what happened for Virginia in their first true road games, the first 4 true road games, in comparison to what we've seen from them as of late.
Tony Benz talked about that and how the maturation of some of his younger guys has occurred, and that's been great. Collins with a pull-up pop, kind of line drive it. So not a shooting clinic early. The Hokies missed their last 6 shots. Beekman, who's made the only basket so far for Virginia, will call for a play.
But this pace absolutely fits Virginia. They don't mind what the score is as long as they have one more at the end, as McKneely gets a great look, unable to knock it down. But Virginia is more than willing to play this pace.
McKneely hits 47% beyond the three-point line. Padula swings it for Kidd and batted away, but a foul on Rohde. So a 2-2 tie, slow start for both sides. We're going to talk some bacon and why it matters here in Blacksburg so much when we return.
Do you know if you have milk right now? It doesn't matter, because now you live a life where fresh milk is always on hand. Your door to crisis-free breakfasts. DoorDash.
I get to love you. Forever I'm yours, forever I do. Every kiss begins with K.
You love pizza just as much as we love pizza. So we're bringing you our favorite offer yet. For a limited time, get a large one-topping pizza for only $8.99 at Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
Want to leave works all day so I can keep working my magic. Just want to leave. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve, who do you take it for? And for fast topical pain relief, try Aleve X.
All the parts you need at the prices you want. Guaranteed to fit every time. So you can keep your ride or die alive.
Oh, nuts.
No. With Planters nuts, it's not nuts. It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
So this is pickleball?
Pickle!
Oh, these guys are intense. With E-Trade from Morgan Stanley, we're ready for whatever gets served up.
Dude, you gotta work on your trash talk.
I'd rather work on saving for retirement or college, since you like to get schooled. That's a pretty good burn, right?
When enamel is gone, you cannot get it back, but you can repair it with Pronamel Repair. It penetrates deep into the tooth to actively repair acid-weakened enamel. I recommend Pronamel Repair. With new Pronamel Repair mouthwash, you can enhance that repair beyond brushing.
They work great together. Pan pizza is Domino's best-kept secret. It's handmade with fresh, never-frozen dough, has 2 layers of cheese, toppings to the edge, and a crust that's golden and crispy. Well, consider the secret out. Order your favorite pan pizza or try it today for the first time at Domino's.
Want to leave works all day so I can keep working my magic. Just want to leave. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve, who do you take it for? And for fast topical pain relief, try Aleve X.
Well, I hope for those of you who are hoping for something the opposite of the NBA All-Star game, it's not going to be like this all night long, just a 2-2 game. But for more on the big giveaway and the real excitement up in the stands, let's go to Angel.
Well, guys, welcome to the Cassell, where the Hokies are 11-2 this season. And when you're looking at these fans, they've created one of the most electric environments in the league. Reese Davis can say it. Corey can even scream it from the rooftop. But what does the Cassell Guard have to say about the commitment here?
No one is better than Cassell Guard here. We lock it down. We lock it down at home.
I'd say we hate UVA.
Truly, unmatched here in Cassell.
H-O-K-I-E-S, Hokies!
We love this place. We love it.
And the guys also said that we're handing out bricks of pants that are meats for the bacon as well. So they're saying that these fans are the absolute best. They said they show up early, making sure that everyone is together, chanting the same thing. And, of course, the Sandman is a big part of them as well.
Well, if the opponent, in this case Virginia, misses 2 foul shots in the second half in a row, everybody gets free bacon tonight.
And nothing gets the Cassell going like bacon.
It's the truth.
It is one of the best environments you will find, especially in the second half. As you mentioned, Virginia will be shooting into the Cassell Guard with bacon on the line. And after Virginia coming off a 1-for-11 free throw shooting performance in their win, which is rare company alone to be able to win a game shooting that poorly from the free throw line, bacon could be a possibility here this season.
It's astounding. Dunn with the ball, trying to back in. Gets into that paint. Strong move, but couldn't finish.
Got to where he wanted to be. A great spot to be able to finish. Just unable to get it to go. But you can see Ryan Dunn getting right in the middle of the paint. But look at these numbers, Obi. 1 of 11, 9% from the free throw line. The second worst free throw percentage by a winning Division I team in the last 25 seasons.
How did Charleston go 0 for 11 and win in 08? Poteet, nice save on the baseline out to Padula. Way downtown. He's just been off.
He has been off. And I talked with Mike Young earlier today. He said a lot of that had to do with the shot selection. Now, that one with the shot clock going down, you have to take that look. But oftentimes, Sean Padula puts himself in a difficult position taking tough shots.
His overall shooting in the slump is now down to 40% for the year, 35% from 3. McKneely, nice drive all the way through to the 6'4" sophomore.
Yeah, strong finish by McKneely, going up against a very good defender in Hunter Couture, but getting his a seam to get into the painted area and finishing at the rim.
Tyler Nickel now into the game from Mike Young. He's 39% beyond the three-point line. Both sides need help shooting it. As Couture gets it to Nickel, and his first one, he'll sink it. So that was on cue.
Yeah, Tyler Nickel coming off a strong performance at his former school at North Carolina on Saturday. Went 4 for 6 from beyond the three-point arc. So he's feeling really good about his jumper right now.
Harris will launch, can't hit it. McKneely trying to keep it alive. And here's Padula coming in at 16 points per game. Just 3 for 13, 0 for 4 on Saturday from 3. 2 for 9 against Florida State in the game before that. He'll try and get going again. Swings it inside Poteet.
And the ACC's leading shot blocker coming over, getting another one. Ryan Dunn making up ground where Poteet had carved out some space in the paint. However, didn't account for the shot blocker coming over.
Beekman shredding the D, will lay it in. Reese Beekman, the senior, and the ACC's assist leader, taking it for himself there for a bucket.
And Reese Beekman can absolutely be more aggressive as the game goes along, finding his spots to be able to take advantage of getting into the painted area.
And a whistle off the ball, and a foul here.
Elijah Petit does a great job using his body to be able to create space against Reese Beekman. However, Ryan Dunn coming from the weak side with another block, and then Beekman takes it upon himself to put 2 points on the board.
Look at Nickel for the illegal screen here. 7-6 Virginia Tech. Hokies are 11-2 at home, just 1-7 on the road. Jake Groves into the game now. Another guy who can hit it from downtown for Tony Bennett, who's still #1 all-time in the NCAA in Division I in three-point percentage. After all these years, the head coach, Harris, with a tough angle. It's going to be tipped up and in by Groves.
And that's not something you see often from Groves, but taking advantage of a smaller defender guarding him as a shot goes up, attacking the offensive glass, giving Virginia the 1-point lead.
Yeah, his game is usually outside the three-point arc, where he's 49%. Nickel dumping it down low, and the step this time for Poteet. He didn't see Ryan Dunn in that picture, and a whistle.
Yeah, no Ryan Dunn on the floor, which means no rim protection for Virginia, and Poteet taking advantage of it, finishing strong through the contact as McKneely comes over and gets a little bit of contact on Poteet, however, enough to send him to the free throw line for opportunity for the and one.
So Poteet 74% at the line. And coming up next, first place in the Big 12 on the line down in Houston, as the second-ranked Cougars will take on #6 Iowa State. That's to follow us tonight on ESPN.
Now, how rare is that to talk about first place in the Big 12 and Kansas not involved in that? I should remember a time where Kansas won, I believe, 18 straight Big 12 championships.
Incredible, yes. McKneely jumping. Harris on the dish. That's a pretty play for Dante Harris. Guy coming back from injury. Guy who averaged 12 points a game last year has not been a big factor yet this year.
Yeah, Dante Harris actually returned from injury in the game against Virginia Tech in Charlottesville. And, of course, Jordan Miner getting in the starting lineup in the game as well.
Couture on the run. Man, have we seen him get rolling a couple of times in his career here. He's #1 all-time in three-point makes for the Hokies.
Yeah, Couture and McKneely respectively 1 and 2 in ACC play, shooting the three at 48 and 47%. So we've got two knockdown shooters playing in this game.
On the drive, Murray finishes that. Zane Murray on the drive.
Hunter Couture taking a bump on that last play, coming back grimacing, a little gimpy.
Padula drive to the baseline. Harris hip for hip on him. Nickel wants Poteet again, writes right into his defender, but the foul will go against him. Poteet with a personal. And when we come back, talking some more Black History Month and a terrific story coming your way here from Blacksburg.
I bought 3 of the same jacket to get the 4th free.
I subscribed to get a deal on these memory supplements, then forgot to cancel.
Yeah, well, you know, recognizing a bad deal is a part of the journey. Yes, Eva, would you like to share your breakthrough?
I got AT&T's best deal on the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus and got to choose my plan.
Yes, we don't make you sign up for the top tier plan to get our best deal.
I still haven't gone. I subscribed to get
Yeah,
a
we know.
Get the newest Galaxy on us with any of our best plans, guaranteed.
Want to go somewhere amazing? Nice, right? But we're not there yet. Not this either. Still not it. Finding the next epic place isn't the point. In a Nissan Pathfinder, search is the adventure.
Come on in to the Chuck Stop. Everything you need for a road trip to the Final Four.
I'm impressed, Chuck.
Gonna need these. Pumpkin spice latte and these mud flaps.
I can use these. Jen.
Hey, guys. Lucky socks.
Wonder what Jim Nance smells like.
I smell divine.
I'm earning double miles with my Capital One Venture card, so it's on me.
What up with you and these subs?
Man's gotta eat.
At Doth's, an ordinary pretzel just isn't enough. So they add savory seasoning and tempting buttery flavor into every delicious twist. Now that's enough to make you order a special delivery.
That seems like a lot.
They're really good. Doth's, sensationally seasoned pretzels.
Everything in moderation. Except for popcorn. Popcorn doesn't count. Skinny Pop. Enjoy endlessly.
There they are. Everybody get their banking done? Let's go. Drive. We gotta go. Someone's in a hurry. And 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Can we go?
Yeah, faster. Oh, no, siree. You see, I get discounts for my safe driving with Snapshot from Progressive. You should see my savings. They're nuts.
You told us he was a skilled wheelman.
No, I'm a wheelman. His family name on my mother's side. What? Irish.
Chance for Luis Diaz. For the love of English royalty. Chelsea are in with Cole Palmer. And their quest for silverware. The Carabao Cup final. Sunday exclusively on ESPN+.
Black History always continues as we acknowledge a few of the Black pioneers here at Virginia Tech, starting with Charlie Lipscomb, the first African-American scholarship player for the men's basketball team back in 1968. Condolences to his family as well. He passed away last month. Diane Epps, the first African-American woman on the varsity basketball team, such a boss. Her senior year also was the assistant coach while completing her degree in biology. And also Tech's ACC Unite recipient in 2021. A shout out as well to the current women's basketball coach, Kitty Brooks, the first African-American coach in program history to capture the ACC tournament title and then advance to the program's first Final Four. Seeing that banner in the rafters as well. He is with his family. These fans adore him. When he walked in, they gave him a round of applause. It's just really exciting to see the history continuing here at Virginia Tech.
All right, Angel, thank you very much.
And Angel, they weren't clapping for Kenny. They were clapping for Chrissy and Chloe. He's not important. We don't worry about him in this game. We're talking about the family around him. Those are important members around him.
Lynn Kidd with a miss there. 13-12 Virginia Tech. Bateman up high will swing it. Shot clock down to 7 here for Virginia. Harris back for Beekman's got to get a shot in the air. He'll spin and fire and can't connect.
It's a great job defensively by M.J. Collins contesting that shot. May have gotten a piece of that one, recognizing that Reese Beekman had to go with the shot clock getting low.
Hokies just 4 for 12 from the field. Nickel will launch and hit another one. He's really giving them a nice lift off the bench.
Yeah, just a simple go screen. He actually doesn't set the screen, slips right out. Tane Murray trying to hedge that screen allows Tyler Nickel to get just too much space. He's a knockdown shooter. You can't give him that much area to operate.
Harris got past Padula, swings it from Minor, and one. Jordan Minor headed to the line. And now, as they say, the rest of the story. We got a great item here, courtesy of our producer, Kim Belton. 1971, the great Muhammad Ali spoke at Burris Hall at Virginia Tech. During the speech, he asked for a volunteer from the audience to help him demonstrate the famed Ali Shuffle. Now, Charlie Lipscomb, at 6'6", 230, he jumped up. The fans, everybody, the students in the crowd, they wanted him to get up there. And after a little Muhammad Ali tutelage, Charlie did the move so well that he actually nicked Ali in the lip and drew blood from the champ. And then he started running for the exit.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, what have I done? As Nickel puts up another one, and this one won't drop. Well, afterwards, Muhammad Ali used his own blood to sign an autograph for Big Chuck, telling him, show this to your grandchildren. It'll make you famous. That's Lipscomb right there in the front. Muhammad actually stayed on that night. He was supposed to fly out, but he was having so much fun, he stayed on campus. He also told Big Chuck, you're the first man ever to draw blood from me.
Yeah, I tell you what, now that's a story in itself. Of course, we're talking about the greatest. Tony Bennett actually was fortunate enough to be able to meet Muhammad Ali. He was called over to be able to go over to the house and meet him.
Really?
A few years back before Muhammad passed. A good friend actually was hosting Muhammad Ali and called Tony Bennett over, and Tony got a chance to go over and speak and say hello to the champ. One of the most, he'll tell you, one of the highlights of his not only coaching career, but life.
Man, do I believe it. Beekman dribbling inside. It's poked away by the Hokies. In transition, Collins. Collins coming off 18 against North Carolina. Padula. He's working on Beekman. What a nice give on the baseline. A handoff. Kidd with the stop. The assist to Collins.
Great recognition by Collins, seeing that he was under the basket. If he tries to lay that up, Blake Buchanan has an easy block. Dumps it off to Kidd for the dunk. And right now, Virginia Tech operating efficiently on the offensive end of the floor.
Opening up a 6-point lead over the Cavaliers. Beekman lost it for a moment, back to Harris. Shot clock down to 3. Harris went for the pass. Buchanan around and out with his shot.
Virginia normally comfortable operating with a low shot clock. They want to work to get under 20 seconds really before they take an aggressive look at the basket. But Virginia Tech has put pressure on them on those shots under 10 seconds.
Padula with a lot of contact, swatting away, and a big block by Buchanan.
Padula would have been better served to drop that one off, similar to the way M.J. Collins does on this possession. The back cut, and then at the last minute, dropping it off to Lynn Kidd, who hammers it down for the easy finish.
Well, I was on my regular route when I find this note. Bring rings to beach wedding.
FedEx presents Tall Tales of True Deliveries.
So I grabbed the rings and hustled down the beach.
Who has the rings?
I do. I do. Okay, save wedding, all set.
Just another day on the job.
If this is what we did for love, see what we can do for your business. FedEx.
No freezers.
How unusual is this for a restaurant?
I think that that's unusual because a lot of restaurants have freezers, but we don't have freezers. We have fresh food every single day.
How fresh is fresh?
It's real food that's coming to our tables. That's what sets us apart.
Wow.
Where'd you learn to serve?
Oh, I didn't serve, but if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served in the military, you can join USAA.
Yeah, my grandpa did, so I'm already in, but I was talking about your serve.
Oh.
USAA, for the military community.
In this clinic, we pride ourselves on putting others first. It's on us to help care for our clients' well-being, to help them adapt. It's inspiring to work at a place where our patients succeed and we as therapists do too. With great benefits from Principal, we feel appreciated for the work we do.
This time belongs to those who want it most, where youth is tested and greats are challenged. The playoff push is coming. The time is now.
Icon of the Seas, now sailing.
I was blown away that there was a school for non-traditional students at an Ivy League university.
You can have a taste of chocolate, a bite of chocolate, a hint or splash of chocolate, or you can have a nugget, a Hershey's nugget. Or she can. Rich, creamy, huge. Hershey's Nuggets, all in on chocolate.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. Connect on a sweeter level.
Hardest place, it gotta be Virginia Tech.
Hardest place for me is Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech, they get rowdy around there. I don't think I ever won at Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Well, Reese Beekman has never won at Virginia Tech, and for all the accolades that he has garnered throughout his ACC career, the game winner in Cameron Indoor against the Duke Blue Devils, he has never won in this building. Most likely his last attempt to get a win here, and it's important for him to be able to do that. But right now, Virginia Tech off to a great start, holding on to a 6-point lead.
And trying to make it 4 straight wins over Virginia on this floor. Kidd going up strong. He'll draw the foul. Dunn going up for the block. There's a young lady who's going to school here, and when I came to practice at noon today to watch Virginia, she was already out front and talking about Cassell Coliseum, and she said, I had a lot of schools I was thinking about going to, and a lot of really good schools, like Virginia Tech. But she said when I walked in to this Coliseum, that's when I made up my mind I was coming to school here. Well, tomorrow, our SEC Big 12 Super Tuesday doubleheader starts at College Station. Wade Taylor and Texas A&M taking on Arkansas at 7. Then number 25 BYU battling to get back into the win column, taking on Baylor. Both games on ESPN and the ESPN app.
And Obi, as you mentioned, that a number of highly touted recruits on campus for Virginia Tech basketball this weekend. So, forgive me, for it's a big Monday. It's not the weekend anymore, but one of the areas where Mike Young and his staff have identified this game, and knowing the environment as to what it would be a great time for recruits to see it.
Okay, with some great defense there, shutting down Buchanan, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. So really, the Hokies are turning the tables tonight.
They absolutely are. That's normally a violation you get used to seeing in Charlottesville at JPJ. But a great job defensively by the Hokies. They are forcing the shot clock violations. We get a look at Julie Foster and Catherine White, who joined our guy Nate Stevens earlier today. They arrived. Actually, Nate was here in 11. Julie and Catherine getting here afterwards.
There's the stop by Kidd.
Nate, who was in first in line. The Duke game a little less than a month ago, and they are enjoying what they're seeing from their Hokies to this point, especially from Lynn Kidd.
Well, those students such a factor for the Hokies, who have fallen behind. They're taking the lead here 24-14. Virginia falling behind by 10. And another turnover. And a bounce feed for Nickel, who's had a hot hand coming off the bench. Kidd with another touch. Give him 2 more. He's having a big half. And a timeout, Virginia.
Lynn Kidd only had 2 points in the first matchup between these two teams. However, he is off to a great start here in the first half.
Ah, nuts. No. Was Planters nuts? It's not nuts.
It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
Looking like a snack. A potatoey, cheesy, bacony snack. The new smashed potato bowl is just $3.49. Only at KFC.
Virginia's game is not necessarily coming from behind, is it?
It is not. And Lynn Kidd giving Virginia Tech a 12-point lead. And the coincidence that he actually has 12 points, perfect from the field and the free throw line with 4 rebounds, is off to a great start. We mentioned he did not have a strong showing in Charlottesville. He's making up for it here in this first half.
So about 6 minutes to go in the first half here in Blacksburg. Virginia trying to make a comeback. Rhodey up high. McKneely. He and Couture, 2 of the best 3-point shooters around. Rhodey will get it, and around and out it goes. Talking about that Isaac McKneely line, that Virginia is not necessarily a team that plays well from behind. We are not the fastest, and we don't try and push it in transition too much.
And Obi, that was a result that we saw early from Virginia. We showed the graphic earlier with their first 4 road games. Their average margin of defeat was 20 points per game. And that showed that they've been much better as of late.
Collins done with the rebound. I want to remind you the 2024 ACC tournament gets underway in Washington, D.C. beginning March 12th through the 16th at Capital One Arena. The 71st annual edition of the tournament. First time since 2016 it's been in Washington, D.C. North Carolina won it that year.
Yeah, but they actually beat Virginia in the championship game that year in D.C., but Virginia will be one of the teams most likely with a double bye starting their action on Thursday.
Yeah, so get your tickets now. I mean, Washington, D.C., a great place for this tournament. Terrific restaurants, a lot of great stuff to see around the tournament games. Plenty of things for Corey to do after the game.
Oh, I'm locked in, Obi. I'm just watching basketball.
Nickel will drop it down. And I know you're not kidding.
And Tyler Nickel running back, giving the he's too small sign to whoever's guarding him on the interior. And Obi, one of the things I've always noted about this game, even when I started doing this and I was doing radio for Virginia, you always take into account how many guys are from the state of Virginia and value this rivalry. One of those guys, Tyler Nickel, and he's having a strong performance here today.
And McKneely trying to end a 5-minute scoring drought, but he can't do it for Virginia. They have gone stone cold, held to 14 points. Not long ago, they held Miami to 17 on their floor in Charlottesville in 1 half. Here's Kidd, 12 points for him. Couture kicks it. Kidd off his hand. Beekman on the drive and blocked away. Beran got a hand on it.
There's another guy from the state of Virginia, Robbie Beran, grad transfer from Richmond, Virginia, spending his final season here in Blacksburg, and now stepping up on the defensive end. He's a guy we normally see knocking down threes.
Collins, yes, and the lead expands for the Hokies, 30-14.
Obi, this is a lineup that Mike Young used late in the game against North Carolina. Sean Padula on the bench, MJ Collins at the point with Tyler Nickel on the floor, and it's been a good lineup for the Hokies thus far, stretching the lead out to 16.
Groves trying to take that line, but he's going to turn it over.
In this state, OB, where you're from matters. You see the Commonwealth connection. Tristan Howell and Desmond Roberts from Virginia. Robbie Beran and Tyler Nickel for Virginia Tech, all from the great state of VA.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now there's Skyrizi.
Things are looking up, I've got symptom relief. Control of my Crohn's means everything to me. Control is everything to me.
Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi is the first IL-23 inhibitor that can deliver remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And the majority of people experienced long-lasting remission at 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to. Liver problems may occur in Crohn's disease.
Now's the time to ask your gastroenterologist how you can take control of your Crohn's with Skyrizi.
Control is everything to me.
Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Looking like a snack. A potatoey, cheesy, bacony snack. The new smashed potato bowl is just $3.49. Only at KFC.
For everyone who's endured the bad seat, finally, sweet, sweet redemption. The Lexus TX. 3-row luxury that treats every seat like the best seat.
Hey, you seeing this?
Wait, where's the dish?
There ain't one.
You're telling me you can get DirecTV, the good stuff, and you don't need a satellite dish? Oh, I used to love doing my business on those things.
You're one sick pigeon. Them dishes kept the rain off our beaks.
We just have different priorities is all.
Satellite-free DirecTV. Never thought I'd see the day.
Well, our lifespans are quite short.
Stream DirecTV without a satellite dish.
I'm gonna do this thing with my neck just for a bit.
$1 million Whopper contest. I can top that.
Fried egg.
Lettuce and tomato.
Ham.
Pickle.
Mozzarella. Bacon.
Crispy onions. Corn chips.
Creating your Whopper your way could win you $1 million. Can you top that?
Jeep halftime report just minutes away. He is Seth Greenberg. I am Kevin Nagani. The Monday Microscope, Iowa State, number 6 in the land, at Houston, number 2 in the country. The magic
first to
number.
60 wins.
The first to 60. Right now, you can say the same thing. Can Virginia get to 40? How about a 14-0 run for Virginia Tech? The key right now?
You know, coming to the game, I thought Lynn Kidd had to be good for Virginia Tech. He's been terrific. They played through him, and then Virginia Tech had to take care of the basketball. Check, check. Virginia Tech dominating this game at home.
Cavaliers desperate for some offense. Obi, back to you.
Yeah, they've gone about 7 minutes, Kev, without scoring. So a nasty hole they're in right now, 30-14, and a nervous-looking Tony Bennett at the moment. They've already beaten the Hokies once this season in their previous meeting in January, 65-57. Nickel getting that loose ball. He's going to get done for the foul as he kept on picking at it.
A great job by Dunn initially denying that opportunity, getting the deflection, but once he doesn't get the loose ball, has to back up because as Ryan Dunn picks up that foul, that's his second. So now he's going to have to come sit down. And now you're talking about taking away one of the best defenders for Virginia in a game where they've already struggled to guard Virginia Tech.
Shooting a 1 and 1.
First time around, Nickel and Kidd, 20 points, 7 out of 8.
And Nickel and Kidd have both shown up significantly in this game, combining for 20 points already. Those two guys alone have outscored Virginia 20-14.
And locking up Beekman to this point. 14.6 assists a game. Mentioned Lynn Kidd having a big half. Nickel at the line.
Tyler Nickel continuing to grow in his confidence in his role here at Virginia Tech. 14 points for him against North Carolina on Saturday. And off to a strong start here in the first half. earning more and more minutes for Mike Young as of late.
Rose with it. Guys hit 38 out of 77 beyond the three-point line, but could not get free. Hokies defense has been superb. Rose trying to take that baseline and kick. They swing it out for Beekman. Off target.
But another shot with 2 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Virginia down big and still being patient on the offensive end while Virginia Tech continues to exploit the interior. This time it's Milizzo Poteet coming up with the big bucket.
The 6'9" Poteet getting behind the defense. He had a really good game off the bench on Saturday at 15.
And he's really been the reasoning for the lack of production in Lynn Kidd, because at this point now Mike Young having a hard time getting enough minutes for both those big guys.
Shot clock to 3. Bond will try and hit it off the back of the iron.
But once again, another tough shot for Virginia at the end of the shot clock. So not only are you taking away valuable time, but you're not getting good looks. And contested shots are late.
Poteet with another touch. Here's Couture straight on. Got it! And the Hokies are hitting Virginia right in the mouth.
That's the one guy you cannot allow to get hot in this building. They love Hunter Couture here in Blacksburg.
So this is pickleball?
Pickle!
Oh, these guys are intense. With E-Trade from Morgan Stanley, we're ready for whatever gets served up.
Dude, you gotta work on your trash talk.
I'd rather work on saving for retirement. Or college, since you like to get schooled. That's a pretty good burn, right?
Want to leave works all day so I can keep working my magic. Just want to leave. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve, who do you take it for? And for fast topical pain relief, try Aleve X.
Everyone has to be on the same page. If you're going to front the post, you've got to have help. And you see Jacob Gross trying to front Milizzo Poteet. However, no one on the backside to take away the easy basket as Poteet dunks it home. In Virginia Tech right now with a 22-point lead here on their home floor.
My goodness. Our bracketologist, Joe Lenardi, said a win or loss for Virginia tonight will not make much difference on the seeding line, as Bond finally gets 2 points on the board after that incredible drought. But we're talking about trying to win the ACC regular season title, and a loss could be really crucial for Virginia tonight. Given their position in third nickel, will fire, and that's much too strong, but the rebound comes out high. Everything going the Hokies' way here in the first half.
Now the Hokies will bring it out, try to get still 4 seconds in between the game clock and shot clock, but they don't want to give Virginia much time to get a basket or a quality look on the other end.
Collins spins and fires, can't knock it down. They had a 9-minute and 43-second drought at the horn. It won't go. Virginia broke that, but Virginia Tech did everything else right. 36-16. Look at how they closed that half on a 20-2 run. So impressive. Doesn't cover it for the Hokies on their home floor. More open space against that Virginia defense than you typically do tonight. Lynn Kidd leading the way for the Hokies with 12 points. Reese Beekman for Virginia, 4 points. And an ugly start to the second half as fumble out of play. And right back over to the Hokies.
And Obi, you mentioned Virginia leads the country with only 8.2 turnovers per game, a turnover on the first possession. But as you look at the numbers and what happened over the last 9-15 of that first half, it was all Hokies.
Beran, and he's going to get hit. And that's going to be another foul here on Dunn, number 3.
Yeah, you compound the fouling the jump shooter by Ryan Dunn picking up his third foul, and now he has to be much less aggressive on the defensive end of the floor. And you're talking about the ACC's shot block leader and also top 10 in steals. So he's a guy that's normally very aggressive defensively, but he'll lose some of that aggressiveness now after picking up that third foul.
Beran, good foul shooter, 82%. A lot of good foul shooters on the Hokies as they make 80% as a team. Beran, the transfer from Northwestern.
And Obi, have you noticed that you and I, during our Big Monday games, have had 3 separate teams who have been #1 in the ACC in free throw shooting? And they all shoot it poorly from the free throw line normally. So we'll see if Virginia Tech can break that curse, because I think it's been us.
It's got to be us.
I think it's been us
we
as
might
of
as
late.
well take that on our. It's the broadcaster jinx.
We saw that with Miami, and we saw it with Wake Forest.
That's right. Beekman on the move with a fall away, and not there for him. Padula on the drive, and he will scoop it up and in.
And the dangerous part about this for Virginia is Virginia Tech was able to have so much success in the first half without Sean Padula, their leading scorer, really getting going. They had everybody else step up. Now Sean Padula looking more comfortable on the offensive end.
Into the paint. That will be off the fingertips of Minor. Collins shovels. Kidd with a stop. Emphatic dunk. Lynn Kidd continues to put on a show tonight. 43-16 Virginia Tech.
Virginia now with 6 turnovers, and Virginia Tech with 12 points. They are capitalizing on every turnover from the Hoos.
McKneely from distance can't hit it. They need a ton of those to try and get back into this thing. And it's just not the Cavaliers' style to play from behind.
It's going to be interesting to see, does Tony Bennett speed things up for Virginia on the offensive end here in this second half, recognizing that they're down by 27 points.
Collins trying to operate. Some contact there, will misfire. And Rhodey going toe-to-toe. Cavaliers only make about 45% of their shots. And they're not a good foul shooting team either. They're a great defensive team. They hang their hat almost entirely on that.
That'll be another possession where you're down under 10 seconds. Reese Beekman stepping up, knocking down a big 3, but 20 seconds going off the clock. I'm interested to see if Virginia has it really in their repertoire to be able to find something offensively that allows them to speed it up and gain more possessions throughout this game.
Because as you said, they can hit all the threes they want, but if it's always with 2 seconds on a shot clock, game's going to be over before they get back in.
It's going to be tough, especially when they can't stop Virginia Tech on the other end.
Oh, what a pretty play as Don will scoop it up and in on the reverse.
And that's what you're looking for if you're Virginia. Score faster and then get back and try to find a way to get a stop. They were able to capitalize off getting out in transition on the last possession. You're going to need much more of that to try to make this a game.
Well, the crowd's been a big factor after a sleepy start by both teams. I'll tell you what, the Hokies woke up fast. Hunter Couture for Collins. Shot clock down to 3. Padula's looking at it now. Needs to get a shot in the air. And it did not touch the rim, so it's a shot clock violation.
Lynn Kidd doing the job defensively and then getting out in transition, finishing strong. Lynn Kidd looks like a young man who knew that he did not have a very good game against Virginia on January the 17th. Only 2 points for him in that one, and he has shown up in a major way. 14 points and 5 rebounds here in the first 24 minutes.
Yeah, he's been the star for the Hokies, no question about that. A whistle with 16:11 to go here in the second half. Lynn Kidd really big time in this one. He hit 64% of his shots, but he's hitting a wide variety of shots so far tonight.
He absolutely has, and Virginia has elected not to double team him early, and he's taking advantage of those one-on-one opportunities.
Bond back in the game and misses there. He was the guy that ended that drought. An unlikely source of offense because he barely played.
Yeah, he hasn't been getting much minutes as of late. Started off the season coming off the bench and getting heavily into rotation for Virginia.
Padula and from behind Bond will foul him along the baseline. So we have a timeout. Virginia Tech putting the hammer down against a big-time rival in Blacksburg so far.
It's time for news about the news. Sling TV has the same news programming you love, starting at $40 a month. It's the same news programming you love, starting at $40 a month. That's what I just said. Right. It's the same news for less, starting at $40 a month.
Sling. Hey, Lexus, show alternate routes.
Technology that's ready for the road ahead. The Lexus NX.
What does it mean to be rich? Maybe rich is less about reaching a magic number and more about discovering magic. Rich is being able to keep your loved ones close and also send them away. Rich is living life your way and having someone who can help you get there. The key to being rich is knowing what counts.
Businesses go further with 5G solutions. That's why they choose T-Mobile for Business. PGA of America and T-Mobile are partnering on 5G-powered analytics to help improve player performance. T-Mobile's network helps AAA stay connected nationwide to get their members back on the road. And Las Vegas Grand Prix chose T-Mobile to help fuel operations for one of the world's largest racing events. Now is the time to see what America's largest 5G network can do for your business.
From cooking schools to curated restaurants or late night eats. With thousands of unique dining experiences, anything's on the menu with Marriott Bonvoy.
Big plans? Don't let allergies get in your way. This is Astapro Allergy. Astapro starts working in 30 minutes, while Flonase takes up to 12 hours. With Astapro's unbeatably fast allergy relief, you can Astapro and go.
Businesses work best when they put people first. Your dedicated Cintas service reps help make sure your team has the essential products they need, where and when they need them, to help keep them looking great, feeling confident,
And ready to be their best. Get Cintas.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Nuts. No, with Planters nuts, it's not nuts. It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
Welcome back to the Castle. The Hokies up big over the Cavaliers. I'm joined now by the head coach of the women's basketball team here at Kinney Brooks. And I was told to refer to you more as Corey Alexander's cousin, so I don't know how you feel about that. But what I do know is that we had a conversation earlier. You said you don't get many of these moments to be in attendance here. What's this environment like? You're 8-0 at home. They're 11-2. Describe it.
Unbelievable. Hokie Nation is the best, and when you can get a crowd like this behind you and supporting you, it gives you a great chance to win. And I'm so proud of our kids, our fan base, because we get the same type of crowds now, and it's really been a difference in us being a good team. They made us a great team.
Being a great team will also bring college game day to campus as well. When you have that type of recognition, what does that mean for the program as well?
It's unbelievable. You know, obviously you watch it, you look at it, you see the excitement that it brings, not only in basketball but football, and it just generates so much interest for your program and just women's basketball in general. So we're glad to be a part of it.
We lost a basketball giant in Lefty Dryzone. I saw you post something on X or Twitter, and you mentioned the impact he had on your life as a coach. Can you walk us through what that relationship was like?
He meant everything to me. You know, when I played for him, I thought he was the craziest man in the world. But then I got to coach with him, and then I saw behind the scenes what he was doing. We thought he was doing things to us. He was doing things for us. And I think he made me a better person, a better player, a better coach, a better husband, and a better father. And he taught me how to incorporate family into your program. I saw him, the way that he loved his wife, the way that he brought his family around the program. And for me, that was the blueprint. And my family's very involved with my program, and it gives it that family-type atmosphere. I learned it all from him.
We could see you sitting up in the rafters with your family as well, enjoying the game. Last thing for you, Coach, I know that this is one of the most electric moments of the year. Everyone's preparing for conference tournaments, March Madness on the horizon as well. What makes these moments so special?
Well, it's great. You know, women's basketball has grown so much. We have the best women's basketball conference in the country. and everyone's going out playing. You have to play each and every night. We're doing our part, and I think we're bringing a lot of excitement, not only to Blacksburg, but just to women's basketball in general. We're glad to do our part.
I know that you're a lot better than Corey, your cousin, which when you have a banner, I will say head coach Kenny Brooks making history. Thanks for your time, Coach.
My question is better at what, Angel? I mean, yes, he's
Everything.
a better coach. I'll give him that much. He's a better coach. However, everything that he did growing up, I tried to copy it, emulate it, and did it better at an earlier age. So, he was the blueprint, however. I'll give him that much credit.
You're both very classy guys. I think I know where you got a lot of that from. No question about it. He's a great coach. With 31 wins last year, Final Four, spectacular season, and they can make a long run again this year.
OB, it was an exciting season for me and my family. A lot of people were upset, a lot of UVA people were upset when I mentioned on the broadcast that Virginia Tech was my favorite women's basketball program. But now they see why. Yeah, Kenny and I grew up basically in the same house. We grew up in a duplex side by side. He's my older brother. You see him looking up at his family. Those are my nieces, Gabby, Kendall, and Chloe, his wife, Chrissy. That's my family. And again, so I was along for the ride all last season on the way to the Final Four.
Scoop shot by Beran. So that ends a bit of a drought there for the Hokies, a little over 4 minutes. But very much in control of this one. Where is Hunter Couture going to fit in the family?
That's nephew. That's my nephew right now. We're looking forward to it. July 20th, Hunter marries into the family.
Bond with the offensive foul. So you're looking forward to the wedding?
There's my baby girl. There's Chloe, Hunter's fiance. Gabby sitting to the left. And then, of course, the matriarch of the family, there's Chrissy Brooks tuning in. And when I tell you the most intense out of everyone.
Oh, I can tell.
That would be Chrissy, a.k.a. Frissy. My little brother couldn't pronounce her name early, so she was Frissy, and she's been Frissy ever since. But she is the true matriarch of this program. She's the one that everyone calls. She's the one that everyone looks to.
Well, you can tell
for the answers.
This is a serious look, and her team is up 47-23.
But she is looking at everything that Hunter is doing, her future son-in-law, and she is going to have a detailed scouting report of his game after.
Hunter, get used to that. Collins finding Poteet, trying to get it out of the double. Nickel will lay it up and in. That's the way it's been going all night for Virginia Tech. They've been getting the bounces. They have been outplaying Virginia since about the 16-minute mark of the first half.
But Virginia was starting the game out not double teaming, and now because of the success of Virginia Tech offensively, they didn't have a choice but to double team.
Yep, and that'll go the Hokies' way too.
And Virginia Tech very well prepared for the double team as Tyler Nickel cuts down through the basket. And you look at Virginia, what's happened throughout the Tony Bennett era. The worst ACC loss, 24 points, and that happened twice in 2011 before this true run for Tony Bennett, and then February the 18th of 2017 at North Carolina, which happened to be a national championship team.
Poteet with a catch and a finish as he got it down deep for the bucket. Virginia Tech lost Saturday at Chapel Hill, and that was a tough loss. Obviously, North Carolina's playing some great basketball, and they're the #1 team in the ACC. And right now, a man down is Hunter Couture, and grabbing at that leg. And let's see if Hunter is okay.
That's fortunate. He's looking to Sean Padula to stretch his leg out, which means that's a cramp. So that's fortunate for Hunter that it's, and again, I say this sitting over here in my suit and sneakers, only a cramp. But he gets up to run it off. You're talking about a young man that is tough as nails. He'll have to come out on this one. Actually, he may not have to come out because no timeout called.
Nah.
Goes over, gets a couple electrolytes.
Get a little hydration. Let's take another look.
You see, jumps and then lands awkwardly, but knows exactly what it is as he goes down, still trying to stretch it out.
What is it? Mike Young has used the phrase, as only Mike can. He's as tough as a pine knot.
And look at Chloe concerned. Chrissy's probably texting Hunter's parents, letting them know he's okay. I didn't see Rodney and Kathy here in the building today, so I'm sure they're home in Orlando watching.
Well, 144 games for Hunter, a program record. He's also made more threes than anybody in the history of the Virginia Tech program. And I think everybody who talks about him, who has met him, who has known him, talks about him as a future coach.
Absolutely, and one of the things that he's talked about is, again, he wants to play first, but will he actually coach with his father-in-law on the women's side, or will he be on the men's side? That's going to be a question for Hunter Couture.
Interesting.
As time goes along.
Hokies in command, 51-25 against number 21 Virginia. Virginia Tech had dropped 4 out of 5 coming into this game when we're playing themselves into the same position they were in a couple of years ago. They had to win the ACC tournament, as that one's going to be swished in by McKneely in order to go to the NCAA tournament. Tonight would be a big win for them.
It absolutely would be a big win, and when you look at the struggles that Virginia Tech has had, they're still 68th in the net. So this is a team with a couple of big wins, can still try to find themselves in the mix. But of course, it's going to be important for them to play well in DC during the ACC tournament to try to get into the NCAA tournament.
Shot clock down to 7 and thrown away, picked up by Harris. He did not have numbers there. And Padula forced him into a turnover. Tapped out by Harris. Let's go to Angel.
Guys, just going back to when I was able to catch up with Tony Bennett at halftime, I asked him what was the difference in his team. He said, simply they outworked us in every single category, but those categories really don't show up on a stat sheet. He said they're more aggressive, they're more physical, we're a step behind in everything. We can't shake loose on anything. What he wants more of is the quality possessions, but we haven't been able to see that in the second half yet. But he did say the difference is we have to step up together, take it one possession at a time.
No one values toughness more than Tony Bennett.
That's going to go the other way, and a foul against Virginia. And Tony Bennett looking for the answers. They're not coming yet. He's got 11:41 to go. We will take the temperature of the ACC when we return after this commercial break.
If advanced lung cancer has you searching for possibilities, discover a different first treatment. Immunotherapies work with your immune system to attack cancer, but Opdivo plus Yervoy is the first combination of 2 immunotherapies for adults newly diagnosed with non-small cell lung cancer that is spread, tests positive for PD-L1, and does not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene. Opdivo plus Yervoy is not chemotherapy. It works differently. It helps your immune system fight cancer in 2 different ways. Opdivo and Yervoy can cause your immune system to harm healthy parts of your body during and after treatment. These problems can be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have a cough, chest pain, shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, diarrhea, constipation, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, dizziness, fainting, eye problems, extreme tiredness, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, rash, itching, confusion, memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, joint pain, flushing or fever. These are not all the possible side effects. Problems can occur together and more often when Opdivo is used with Yervoy. Tell your doctor about all medical conditions, including immune or nervous system problems, if you've had or plan to have an organ or stem cell transplant or receive chest radiation. Your search for 2 immunotherapies starts here. Ask your doctor about Opdivo plus Yervoy, a chance to live longer.
We're lucky to have this team working for us. Our therapists give their all each day by helping those who need it most. We take great pride, not just in the job our team does, but in them as people, our people. And while we're in the business of taking care of others, it's important our therapists know that with benefits from Principal, they're taken care of too.
Hey, you seeing this?
Wait, where's the dish?
There ain't one.
You're telling me you can get DirecTV, the good stuff, and you don't need a satellite dish? Oh, I used to love doing my business on those things.
You're one sick pigeon. Them dishes kept the rain off our beaks.
We just have different priorities is all.
Satellite-free DirecTV. Never thought I'd see the day.
Well, our lifespans are quite short.
Stream DirecTV without a satellite dish.
I'm gonna do this thing with my neck, just for a bit.
You know, we talked about everything. His hopes, his dreams, his fears, even his secrets.
Not a lot of people know this, but the gecko is actually left-handed.
You can see by the way he holds the microphone when he comes to the podium.
He made it easy with only his left hand.
What hand he chooses to use as his dominant hand, that's his business and no one else's.
On one hand, it's so helpful to find the right coverage with Geico.
On the other hand, who cares?
Well, I care.
From cars to home to jewelry, it's easy to Geico.
Little heat check on the ACC up to the minute. Well, Pitt at the boiling point, 5-game win streak. Blake Hinson, 68 points his last 2 games. He can do that. Virginia, we're going to call them warm right now. They won 9 out of 10. 1 game from first place, but tonight, all sorts of problems. And North Carolina cold after starting 9-0 in the conference, 3-3 in the last 6. Defense has been their problem.
Defense has been their problem when that was their strong suit throughout the entire month of January, where they were the best team in the ACC. But we're going to see Virginia hosting North Carolina this weekend, so you and I will be there for the call on that one. Going to be interesting to see how Virginia responds. Still 11.5 minutes remaining in this one. They have a chance to come back, but Virginia has to find something offensively.
Foul off the ball here. Yeah, Virginia hosting North Carolina at 4 o'clock on Saturday.
Virginia's number 0.
The Duke Blue Devils are at Miami Wednesday and then at Wake Forest next Saturday at 2 p.m. Sonic Blockbuster on Saturday. And after the Carolina game, Virginia has Boston College, Duke, and then they go to Georgia Tech to conclude the ACC regular season.
But how about the last time that North Carolina beat Virginia in Charlottesville was in 2012. Now that is impressive when you start talking about what Tony Bennett has done, because of course for Virginia, now the true rival is Virginia Tech. But from a basketball standpoint, there are many Virginia fans that think that North Carolina is the rival, and that goes back to, of course, the Dean Smith, Terry Holland days where Ralph Sampson was playing against Michael Jordan and James Worthy, etc. So the fact that Virginia has won every game in Charlottesville throughout that time frame is impressive.
Beran got a great look, just absolutely drained a triple. That's a big guy who can shoot it at 6'9".
Yeah, Robbie Beran, that's his first made three-pointer on the evening, but he's had his impact on the defensive end where we're not used to seeing him be as aggressive.
Reese Beekman got 10 minutes, 40 seconds to bring Virginia back here. He thought about a 3. Again, late in the shot clock, has to heave it up there. How many times has that happened tonight?
But it's tough shots late in the shot clock. 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock, and you're having to take a tough three-pointer over a contested hand.
Kidd losing command of it now, a scrap for it. The possession arrow will keep it on this end. And again, the 2024 ACC tournament getting underway in Washington, D.C. March 12th through the 16th. Tickets available at Capital One Arena. Great spot to see a game in the 71st annual edition of the great tournament.
And I believe Washington, D.C. will call it the DMV because I believe in 1976 that was Virginia's first ever ACC tournament win, with wonderful Wally Walker leading the Hoos to a championship for Virginia's first, and then Virginia winning its second in Greensboro in 2014. So Virginia fans will be excited.
Great pass. Nickel. Terrific finish on it, but Padula's pass drew the oohs and the ahs from the crowd. That had something on it.
Yeah, Virginia's fans will be a little more excited about the ACC tournament than they have been this performance here against the rival Virginia Tech on the road.
Harris gets an open mid-range, and that's all net.
2-point basket good by number 1, Dante Harris.
But 56-30, the Hokies. They held the Cavaliers scoreless for over 9 minutes. And one fateful stretch in the first half. And a bump there by Buchanan. Will commit another foul.
Sean Padula hasn't had a huge scoring game, but right here, he flat out drops a dime. He put that spin on it, OB. That's what you call put that spin on it. That's what I used to do when I used to go bowling. However, you know, that's hurt my wrist, so I had to shut that down.
But wait a minute. You did it when you bowled, but not in basketball
games?
No.
I'm not going to throw that past the basketball game. I'm giving Sean Padula the ultimate credit for making that pass.
Yeah. Yep, that was gorgeous.
Checking in for the Cavaliers, 22, Jordan Ryan.
57-30.
Checking in for the Hokies, 13.
ESPN's women's basketball Thursday primetime. That's number 12 UCLA taking on number 18 Utah at Pauley Pavilion starting at 9:30 Eastern Time. Pull-up pop, and it barely nicks the iron by Harris. Looking for a second attempt. Blocked from behind there by Beran. And it's really Virginia known for the block shots. They're one of the better shot blocking teams in the country, but Virginia Tech has turned the tables on them with the rejections tonight.
You know, and really that's the identity also of Mike Young. Mike Young is a great defensive coach. When you go back a couple of seasons ago when they won the ACC tournament, they did it with their defense. You got to think about the teams that they beat to get to that point, knocking off both Duke and North Carolina to win an ACC tournament championship. And they were a very good defensive team. And of course, they got some great shooting from Hunter Couture, who was the tournament most valuable player. 31 points for him in the championship game, but it was what they did defensively that allowed them to get to that point.
Ladder takes the hit, and tonight they're even in blocks. It's usually an area Virginia flat dominates. Got to get that contact back in.
Especially shooting in the Cassell guard with Bacon on the line. You have to absolutely have your contacts right.
Bacon on the line, because if he misses them both, everybody up there and everybody in the arena gets free bacon tonight. And they look hungry. Well, everything else is going the Hokies' way. Let's see if Minor makes this one and disappoints them or sends them all home with a lot of bacon. Just a 53% foul shooter. And he got the second. Heartbreak in the Cassell.
You even had the Virginia Tech players, Hunter Couture on the bench, up rooting for the miss so that everyone can get bacon.
Kidd down on the block, had a big first half. He was the major reason the Hokies had a huge lead. Shot clock to 5. Collins can't hit, but there's Beran again.
But that's also part of when you have Ryan Dunn guarding the basketball and Jordan Minor having to deal with Lynn Kidd. Someone else has to be able to get a body on the defender. No one there to take Robbie Beran off the glass.
Richard one hands it, no. It's going to be tipped. That shot won't drop either. Minor couldn't get it. And look at this lead. Virginia just 13 for 39. Hokies 21 for 41 and a turnover. There have not been many moments like that from Mike Young's team tonight.
Fans, there's an official timeout.
Hokies having a grand time inside the Cassell tonight against their big rival.
Where'd you learn to serve?
Oh, I didn't serve, but if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served in the military, you can join USAA.
Yeah, my grandpa did, so I'm already in, but I was talking about your serve.
Oh.
USAA, for the military community.
When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line. When victory alone isn't enough, you raise your bar, keep dreaming, and go beyond the limits of what you ever thought possible. The new 2024 Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot, part of our most rugged trail sport lineup yet. From Honda.
When you're great, your game does the talking. In the ACC, ours speaks volumes. 3 of the last 8 NCAA championships. 99 NCAA tournament wins since 2015. 8 NCAA titles in the last 22 years. 6 of the top 30 winningest programs in Division I, most of any conference. It's not bragging if it's true. Greatness is what we do. The ACC accomplished greatness.
Chipotle's braised beef barbacoa might be our best kept secret. If you know, you know.
Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price.
You want the lowest price. Did you say lowest or lowest price? It's basically the same thing.
If you find a better price somewhere else, we'll match it. Get the lowest price with our lowest price guarantee. You got this. We got you.
Coming up next, first place in the Big 12 on the line down in Houston as the second-ranked Cougars host number 6 Iowa State. So the Eaton's pretty good in the Cassell, too. That's one way to fortify the troops.
It absolutely is one of the places I'm always looking for a plate. And, again, I don't know where this was because they hid this from me pregame, but be sure to find it after the game.
Because you eat everything.
No, this is very true.
You're incredible. I've never seen anybody like you.
This is very true, okay.
And you don't gain an ounce.
No, I do. I just got to work out.
Well, everything working out for the Hokies. 60-31. Virginia with the ball. We talked about this. It's just not the style of play for Tony Bennett's team to be able to come back. And once again, a shot clock violation. And that's very disturbing. That's happened many times tonight, either late in the shot clock or the violation.
And this is one of the things, and Isaac McKneely said it best, Virginia's not necessarily a team that plays well from behind. We are not the fastest team, and we don't try and push it in transition too much. So what I was interested to see, with down 20 at halftime, would Tony Bennett go to something differently to try to get quicker shots?
On target, Robbie Beran has had a nice second half.
And Tony Bennett going with a full line change. All 5 will come out as 5 players at the scorer's table, checking in at the next dead ball.
That's like I've seen enough tonight.
Well, he's actually getting some starters back in the game. Reese Beekman will be one of the guys coming back in. But the largest win ever for Virginia Tech over Virginia, 35 points, and that's back in 61, OB. And I can't remember anyone playing on the 61 team for either of these groups.
Nickel off target with that one. 63-31. And a timeout with 6.5 to go. And an entirely new lineup coming in now for Tony Bennett.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. Moving piles of earth just by moving a lever. Towing up to 4,000 pounds with a machine that weighs less than half that. Cutting grass, clearing the way, and perfecting every inch of your land. We could keep trying to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at johndeere.com/get-in-the-seat.
From cooking schools to curated restaurants or late night eats. With thousands of unique dining experiences, anything's on the menu with Marriott Bonvoy.
$1 million Whopper contest. I can top that.
Fried egg.
Lettuce and tomato.
Ham.
Pickle.
Mozzarella. Bacon.
Crispy onions. Corn chips.
Creating your Whopper your way could win you $1 million. Can you top that?
Hey, you seeing this?
Wait, where's the dish?
There ain't one.
You're telling me you can get direct TV, the good stuff, and you don't need a satellite dish? Oh, I used to love doing my business on those things.
You're one sick pigeon. Them dishes kept the rain off our beaks.
We just have different priorities is all.
Satellite-free direct TV. Never thought I'd see the day.
Well, our lifespans are quite short.
Stream direct TV without a satellite dish.
I'm gonna do this thing with my neck just for a bit.
Nuts.
No. With Planters nuts, it's not nuts. It's nuts. Because Planters nuts are good.
Planters nuts. Nuts.
I get to love you. Forever I'm yours. Forever I do. Every kiss begins with K.
Domino's Perfect Combo includes 2 pizzas, 2 sides, and a 2-liter bottle of Coke. So we were asking real people how much they think all of this costs.
$35, $45, $50.
$19.99. I'm about to order that when I get home. It's Domino's Perfect Combo, and it's all just $19.99.
With Fairlife Ultra Filtered Milk, you'll want to savor every moment. With 50% more protein, 50% less sugar, and of course, it's delicious. Fairlife.
There's one thing that never changes.
Georgia.
The anticipation.
Georgia. The whole day through.
Well, just the other night, Caitlin Clark breaking the NCAA women's all-time scoring record, taking a shot now at the all-time record period held by Pete Maravich. The great Pistol Pete, 36-67, which he did in just 3 years at LSU.
3 years at LSU, and of course, Pistol was the guy, and that's a record that you would never have thought had been broken,
right,
to be completely honest. Caitlin Clark is doing it within 4 years. I believe that she will get to that mark. And again, I'm happy that when it does happen, it will be within 4 years, so we don't have to put the asterisk beside it that she did in the 5th year, a COVID year. But amazing. You know, Pistol did it with no three-point line also.
Right.
But I can tell you this, Obi, he had to ice that elbow every game because he was getting his looks at the rim.
He sure did. His dad was his coach. His dad pressed, so Pete could do whatever he wanted. He was a great player. He's also a great passer. Well, you look at Caitlin's numbers.
Yes.
Passing, she's got 1,000 assists.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
And Pistol had over 450.
Yeah.
So Caitlin with more than double the assists of Pistol Pete. But again, not to take anything away from Pistol Pete, but really only to enhance what Caitlin Clark has done throughout her career.
Incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
Yep. And appropriately did it, broke the record on a three-pointer.
Oh, that should have been 4. I mean, that was, and she said simply, you guys knew I was going to shoot a logo 3 for the record, right? She pulled up from about 30 feet.
And it was nothing but net. And Poteet will slam it down and draw the foul. And what has become an absolute runaway for the Hokies tonight against their rivals here in the Commonwealth Clash. Fans have been loving it since the early going. Tony Bennett has not.
But Tony Bennett right now is probably perplexed and wondering what has let his team down more. Has it been their offense or has it been their defense? Because, I mean, when you look at the fact that Virginia only allows about 57 points per game. Virginia Tech with 65 with still 5 minutes remaining in this one. Virginia Tech's gotten everything they've wanted on the offensive end of the floor today.
Buchanan with a misfire.
The Hokies are shooting 51% from the field. I can't imagine or remember the last time a team shot 51% against Virginia.
Collins with a miss. Padula probably should have laid it up, but unselfish there. 4:43 remaining. McKneely can't hit it. They tap it out high. Nickel going over the top. Laid up and in by Collins. You talk about everything clicking. Over 40 minutes almost here for the Hokies. Incredible against a really good Virginia team.
And Virginia with another turnover. We started off the broadcast talking about they only average 8.2 turnovers per game, which is tops in the NCAA. And that is now, OB, 24 points scored off of 12 Virginia turnovers. Virginia Tech has capitalized every time Virginia's had a miscue on the offensive end.
Buchanan has it plucked away by Padula, but he knocks it out of bounds. And a timeout on the floor. Well, no bacon yet, but everything else is cooking for the Hokies. 69-33.
In this clinic, we pride ourselves on putting others first. It's on us to help care for our clients' well-being, to help them adapt. It's inspiring to work at a place where our patients succeed and we as therapists do too. With great benefits from Principal, we feel appreciated for the work we do.
Not all Christian McCaffreys are the same. Some are all-pro running backs. Some aren't.
I'm Christian McCaffrey, and I make tacos.
Just like not all internet providers are the same. Don't settle for slow.
Yikes.
Or unreliable.
That's gonna leave a mark.
Or weak. Get real deal speed, reliability, and power with Xfinity.
Hey, you okay? I'm gonna pass out if that's all right.
Get the real deal. Get Xfinity.
Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3 is so good, the crew is giving every combination code names.
Bis squared.
Egg and cheese biscuit and sausage biscuit. 2 biscuits. I'm impressed Tyler knew what squaring was.
Mathlete.
No matter what you call it, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's breakfast 2 for $3.
Want to leave works all day so I can keep working my magic. Just want to leave. 12 hours of uninterrupted pain relief. Aleve, who do you take it for? And for fast topical pain relief, try Aleve X.
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses from AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. The younger you are, the more you need AARP.
The middle child never knows the beauty of elbow room. Until now, the 3-row Lexus TX.
When you share a hotel room with your kid, you also share a bedtime with your kid. But if you get an Airbnb, you get to pick your own bedtime.
Next Sunday, the Hokies highlighting the ACC Network's women's basketball schedule. After 19th ranked Notre Dame takes on Boston College at noon Eastern. Number 8, the Hokies will take on North Carolina. Then it's 6th ranked NC State and Duke on ACC Network.
We heard Kenny mention it earlier. The ACC is by far the best women's basketball conference in the country. It seems as though every time we do one of those promos, each and every team has a number beside it. So many ranked teams in the league. And again, the only reason that they're falling in the rankings is because they're beating up on each other. But it's going to be interesting to see how it works out for the ACC come NCAA tournament time with so many quality teams in the league.
March 12, ACC tournament getting underway in Washington, D.C. We hope to see you there. Camden trying to get it inside. The Hokies with a shot clock down to 2. And a long one by Camden won't drop. It's only the 15th three-pointer he's attempted. He's hit 7 of them.
That's pretty good percentage. He's got to get more shots over here. You know, that's the way I see it.
I know you see it that way, Gertrude, but that won't drop. So complete beatdown tonight for Virginia Tech against their rival, the Virginia Cavaliers. It is typically a great rivalry. Normally the games are very close, and they come down to the last couple of possessions. Minor on the drive and a foul. And he'll be off to the line to shoot. Not many foul shots in this game.
Yeah, but that foul puts the Cassell guard in an opportunity to get some bacon out of this as Minor goes to the free throw line. He made 1 of 2 last time he had to shoot into this crowd, and we had a great shot of it. Look at our camera crew, man. Come on, you can't beat this, Obi. This is college basketball at its finest.
Minor scuffles at the line. Look good on that one. The kids are deeply disappointed once again.
That's the one thing, if you take any positive away from this from Virginia, they've shot the basketball much better from the free throw line in this game. Now 4 of 6 from the line, where they were 1 of 11 and winning at home on Saturday.
But not many foul shots. As you point out, on the other hand, Virginia Tech is 13 for 17. Young up high. Approaching the 2-minute mark. Harris for a moment had a steal, but he lost it out of play. 69-37. So the race for buys in the tournament. The top 4 teams get a double bye. Teams 5 through 9 get a single bye.
When you talk about the quality of the league, I mentioned earlier, coming into this game, Virginia Tech still a top 70 in the net ranking.
Young with a triple.
Jaden Young being able to knock down the 3-ball to the delight of the crowd. And at this point for Virginia Tech, you get some guys who don't get many minutes an opportunity to play as Elijah Gertrude gets to the bucket for the acrobatic finish. But the team, the starters, the guys who are in the heavy rotation up cheering on each and every one of their teammates, recognizing how important they are to this program.
Another jumper on the way, and he sinks that one from the other side. Young coming off the bench, delighting his teammates.
And doing it right in front of his coach, Mike Young. And I mean, hey, coach, I might need a couple more minutes if I'm coming off the bench shooting it like this.
Harris with a step back. No. And tapped out of play. It'll go the other way. It'll be Hokies basketball. And the celebration getting into full throat now for the Hokies fans as Mike Young's going hard to the bench. And getting the guys who don't play much onto the floor here. This was not the expectation that with like a minute to go, Tony Bennett would be emptying his bench and Mike Young would be emptying his bench. Not in a game like this. It's not typically true, but it is tonight. Going to wind up a big win for the Hokies in more ways than one. One they really needed, having dropped 4 out of 5. It gets them back to 1 game under 500 in the league.
And again, this is a team that can get hot and make a run. Not happy about their performance at North Carolina on Saturday. Mike Young felt like they had this type of performance in them offensively, but I'm sure that he was not expecting this level of defense. But he will absolutely take it, especially here in what was a maroon out tonight for the Hokies. Yep. Cassell guards showed up in tremendous fashion, supported their team.
Yeah, the other word is blowout. And Virginia finally breaking the 40-point barrier with less than a minute to play. And Virginia to taste their 7th loss of the season and drop to 11-5 in the league. Could be a very damaging loss in their bid to win the ACC title in the regular season, trying to chase down both North Carolina and Duke.
And a big opportunity for Virginia on Saturday with North Carolina coming to JPJ. Long week for Tony Bennett and his team to have to think about this game, but also time to recover and get back to their defensive ways.
Batted out by Tane Murray. 20.6 to go. You know, we were asking what would Tony Bennett say after the game. Mike Young is going to have a really interesting post-game press conference because everything went right.
Almost everything. They didn't get bacon.
Yeah. Fans didn't get bacon.
Didn't get bacon.
Number 14 from the corner. That won't drop. And a shot clock violation, never touched the iron. They couldn't be happier, and obviously hoping that the walk-ons and the extras get a couple of baskets here.
Yeah, everyone involved for that one. As Ward got the wide open 3 in the corner, unable to get it to go. But the entire bench, all the supporters up wanting to see him get a basket here in this rivalry game.
Gertrude looking to make a move, and it'll be blocked. The shot right in front of the horn here. The rebound, that goes out, and that's the ball game. Virginia Tech in a total runaway over Virginia.